What's up, wrestling fans? How's everybody doing? We're also going to quickly mention this Jake Paul situation with Conor McGregor, which is, man, it's a great way to go, and we'll talk about that in a second. I'll talk about what's going on with me, and this will be just kind of a little bit of a conversation today. So I hope you are ready to listen to this podcast, and we can bring 15 minutes or so of value to your lives via this really bad phone that I'm recording on, but that's fine. I think it's good enough for you to hear me on, right? I think it really is. It's rainy outside today, but let's do SummerSlam first, and then we'll do we'll do Jake Paul and Conor McGregor, and then we'll go into my life. I'll just tell you what I've been doing and what's going on. Because I like to bitch and complain. That's kind of me. I mean, it's over the years, it's gotten worse. I think over the years, I got really good at not doing it and just getting to the point of news and opinions and comedy. But in the last year and a half to 2 years, especially, I'm really back to complaining quite a bit. So I think that's what I'll always do. But SummerSlam, overall, I think people pretty much liked it, but I think the main event really was a sour point for a lot of people, because not only was the match not that great, Roman Reigns and Jey Uso as a match was probably a 6 or 7 out of 10 match. I think it was probably like a 6. And what hurt it a lot was it was Roman cheating again. So we've seen that same thing a million times play out. So what hurt it was it really wasn't that great anyway. And then also what hurt it is the ending has been done a million times and the bad guy wins. And so you add all these negatives up, and it really was one of the downer parts of the night. It was probably the third worst match of the night, behind Shayna, Ronda, and I think there was another one I can't remember that it was behind. And so it was on the bottom half of the list of matches from the night. So ending the show on that is never going to go that well. So overall, SummerSlam, I think, is a sort of a wincing thumbs up from a lot of people. And that's where I'm at, because I gave it about a 7 out of 10 or so. And I think it could have been a 6.5 or a 6 out of 10 for many people, and I think it could have been maybe an 8 for some people who are like gushing WWE love. I don't know. But so that's where we're at with SummerSlam. Tonight on Monday Night Raw, what you can expect is, in my opinion, is just, more of these storylines to continue, and that's about it. There's really just a bunch of storylines continuing. Even though Cody Rhodes is moving on to something else, what is that? This is the continuation of his thing. I'm really annoyed. I'm really getting sick of people, finish my story, and everybody's talking about their stories and stuff. Can you imagine Stone Cold Steve Austin back in the day? He was like, my story ain't over. This story has, and it was like, he just kept talking about his story and his path and whatever. It's like, dude, stop reminding us in the real show that this is a long story and an arc, and wait, and it's coming, and like, stop it. Like, that's really friggin' bothering me. Like, it's really pissing me off. Oh, I'm getting a million texts right now because, dude, my refrigerator broke. We made fun of my refrigerator the other day on the show. We literally showed my fridge on the show because I'm lucky enough that we have replaced all our, appliances in the house over the last 4 years. But our refrigerator is still the refrigerator that came with the house, and that refrigerator is old as shit. The homeowner told me it was like 12 years old, and that was 4 years ago. So, I mean, this fridge is friggin', like 16, 17 years old or something. And it finally broke. We made fun of it a couple weeks ago on Monetize This, and I made fun of how ugly it was and fucked up it is and everything. Well, guess what? It went the other day, and all our food is fucked. And fridges are, in order to get a fridge that fits in that spot, it's like $1,200 to $1,500. It's fucking crazy. So please sign up on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. We'll get into that later. Patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. We're looking for $25 producers. If you'd like to be a producer of the show, that would be helpful. I'll be reading off the producer list tonight on Monday Night Raw, and love to add you guys to that list. And you can get help me out with the fridge fund. It'll be amazing. I'll tell you more about that later because it's actually been kind of a funny day with credit applications and things like that. They all failed, but it was really funny. Something happened earlier. Collision, people talked about, well, what did AEW Collision do? Because, Collision was on at the same time as SummerSlam. Well, Collision didn't do so well. Collision did 330,000 people watched Collision on Saturday night. So not good. Not good there for Collision. But that was to be expected, especially, with SummerSlam going on. You knew that was going to be a problem for them. So, whatever. Collision is whatever. Kevin Kelly is the best announcer in AEW right now. I also tweeted out, speaking of wrestling, I tweeted out yesterday this Riverboat fight that happened between these families. It's crazy. It wasn't families, it was one family. Now everybody's picking up on it, and everybody's doing parodies of it, and there's Jim Ross calling the fight and everything. Well, I did my own commentary of it yesterday when it first dropped, and I thought maybe I'd go viral for it. And my video did do really well on Twitter. Like, it did really well. But all these other people are, like, going viral today, and I'm like, fuck, man, I made mine, like, one of the first people to make it, and I didn't do well, so I'm kind of disappointed in that. But basically, this family, this white family, they're on a boat, and a security guard was telling the family, hey, you have to move your boat so this gigantic cruise line could, get through, and you're in the way. And I guess one of the guys got pissed off and then began to fight the security guard. But when they were fighting, then the rest of the family, some of the guys in the family came over, and they started helping, and they beat, like, 3-on-1 the black security guard. Now, I'm only saying this to separate from who's fighting. I don't know why. This has become a big thing about race, and it really has nothing to do with race as far as I'm concerned, other than, the security guard was a black guy and the family was a white family, but there's no racism, I don't think, involved in this. It's just bad people acting stupid. But everybody makes it about race. It's crazy. The only reason why I mention black and white is so you can distinguish between the people fighting. Since most of the people fighting were black on one side and the other side was white, it just makes it easier to distinguish them. But yeah, people are making it so stupid. But basically, this family ganged up on this guy, and then the women from the family were coming over to try to kind of help, and get their husbands and boyfriends off the guy. But as that was happening, all these bystanders were watching, and they were like, "Oh, fuck no. We're going to go in and help this guy." And so one dude jumped off the boat and swam across the water to get there. And a couple other people jumped in. And then eventually there was chair shots. Someone pulled out a chair from the boat. And dude, I'm telling you, it was a Pier 6 brawl, legit. And if you didn't see it, go to my Twitter. If you don't follow me on Twitter, I have all kinds of fucked up shit that I'm saying and uploading in videos and things on Twitter. Please go there at Meta World Online. That's my Twitter handle. Just look Joe Cronin Show Producer up. But yeah, so if you didn't see that, check that out. That's fucking nuts. And if you haven't, please click the like button, guys. That would help me out. You know the deal with the like button. And leave me comments, man. Leave me super thankses if you really can. And I'll read them. I'll highlight them. And I want to interact big time. And we need to, even if, I don't know, fuck it, share this video everywhere. Anyway, Jake Paul and it looks like they're setting up Jake Paul and Conor McGregor. I mean, that's what it seems to me. Conor McGregor's on Twitter talking shit all of a sudden, he called him the wigger, which is like an insult to white people, which is funny. But anyway, he called him that. And Jake Paul was like, "Oh, shut up, you Irish fuck," or whatever. And then Conor McGregor deleted it. So, but I think it's all part of a work. That's my opinion, but maybe it's not. I don't know. But yeah, they're doing a better job of working us with these stupid fucking boxing fights than half of the other shit. But yeah, I do want to see it because, man, I mean, but I'm worried. I'm so worried that it's hard to see what's going on, but it's hard. It's almost hard to believe, man, that I feel, I'm trying to admit something right now. I feel like Jake Paul has actually done a great job of learning boxing and being a pretty good fighter, pretty good at going up against guys that really don't box at all. Like, he's new to boxing, but he gets into it. He learns a bunch of it. He's a big guy. He's in his prime of his life. He's like 26 or something, 28. I don't know how much old Jake Paul is. And then he fights these 40-year-old guys who don't have a background in boxing, but they have a fighting background. So it's like you'd think the fighter would beat Jake Paul, but then in the end he wins. So, like, I don't want to say it's fixed, but it just has that feeling like Nate Diaz was like, hey, man, I'm going to really fight you, but, I'll do the right thing by the end, if I have to. Which basically means, like, oh, yeah, I'll let you beat me up a little bit, and then but I'm going to fight, and then in the end, we'll make sure that you win, even though, I am going to put up a fight. And that's what it feels like. But I could be wrong, and I mean, Nate Diaz, could be really trying to win, and he did. He looked like he was trying to win the other night. It looked like a legitimate fight for the most part. There's just this little bit of, like, I don't know, like, it's not nepotism. It's just this little bit of I don't know, negativity that I have in my head that, like, something's off, man. This ain't fully 100% real, is it? Like, I have that in my brain. I don't know why. You know what I mean? I know a lot of other people have no problem saying that. They're like, oh, it's all fixed bullshit and fake and whatever. And it's like, yeah, maybe it is. But, didn't Jake Paul lose last time he fought, too? Like, he lost a fight. I don't know, man. I just something smells weird, but at the same time, it does seem legitimate when I watch it. And Nate Diaz did have a fight like he would have in the UFC. It's like he got beat up at the beginning, and then he just kept going like he always does. And in the end, he hung in there until the very end of the fight went the entire distance, and the guy lost, but he took a beating. And he made more money than he's ever made in the UFC, I believe, or at least close to that. If he didn't. And I know Jake Paul really has a lot of sympathy for what the guys get paid in UFC, so I know he wants to see these guys get paid, and people that fight and put their lives on the line for entertainment and sport get paid. So I think, it probably is the most amount of money that he's ever made, I want to believe, but maybe I'm wrong about that, but I don't think so. That being said, tonight is Monday Night Raw. And we'll be hopefully live for a little bit talking about Raw and some other things. And you guys can be live here on my channel with me reacting and commenting, and we'll do our thing here. My lawnmower broke a couple weeks ago. My lawn looks like shit. My lawnmower broke, and so I've been trying to, gather, figure out how to get a new one and get something cheap for like $100 or something like that. So while that's going on, my fucking fridge breaks the other day. So, and on top of that, my car is going into the shop Wednesday because I couldn't fix it last week because I had no money to fix it. And my car needs a fucking hub assembly, rotors, brakes, tires, needs an inspection sticker. It's like 8 months expired on the inspection. Like, bro, I am fucked right now. It's crazy. But I don't know what to tell you. We're all kind of fucked right now. Everybody's fucked. But it's just crazy, man. It's like, how is life, like this? How do I work fucking 50 hours at a job and then work 20, or maybe, how long do I work on YouTube now? I don't even know. Now, I guess I don't work a ton on YouTube anymore. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I do about 10 to 12 hours on YouTube a week, and I work 50 hours at my other one, so that's like 60 something. And then I work my other third part-time here or there when I can come and go, about 5 to 10 hours. So that's about 70 hours of work in a week. 70 hours of work in a week, paycheck to paycheck now, sometimes negative in the bank now. And then on top of that, you got like $3,000 worth of shit that just went wrong this week. And it's like, bro, how is this real? How do I wish I had a time machine, because if I could go back in time and live in the 80s in my 20s or something, I would have crushed it, dude. I would have, oh my God, the sales job that I would have had in the 80s, I would be fucking rich, because I would have been able to do all kinds of shit that's illegal now. And I would have made so much money. And by the 90s, everything was pretty good. And then by the 2000s, and oh, fuck, dude, it would have been crazy, dude. If I ever get a time machine, I'm going back to 1983, and I'm going to fucking own it. And then I'm going to retire in the year 2000, probably 10. And in the year 2010, I'm just going to be like, fuck. I'm 35 years old. or 40 years old. No, I'd go back in time. I'd have to go back in time at my age now, I guess, right? I couldn't change my age. So I go back in time to the 80s. I go back to like 1987 right now. Go back to 1987. Just fucking take people for all they're worth. Like 10 years later, it'd be 1997. Great fucking time. I watched the Attitude Era again. I'd be 49 years old at that point. And then by like 2005, I would just retire. You know what I mean? I'd be like 47 years old or something. Oh no, I'd be 57. I'd be like 57 years old. I'd retire. And then I would just laugh. You know what I mean? I just laugh like, especially when people are like, man, times are fucking tough right now. Oh, like, oh, the world's so fucked. Which people really didn't say that as much back in 04 and 05. But you know what I mean? When people are like, oh, yeah, I'm going to have to do this, that. Yeah, just you fucking wait until 2020. Just wait. Brother. I actually fucking wait till 2007 and 8 when the housing market shits itself. Wait till that happens. And I just start laughing, while I'm all set. Like, I got $1 million and I'm just laughing at all these people who are complaining in 2001, 2002. They're like, oh my God, the fucking trade towers, we're going to war. Yeah, but you're going to do all right, though. You're going to be all right. Wait till 2008 and then wait till 2020. You're going to wish it was September 11th every 2 months. All right? But anyway, that's all I got to say. The struggle's real for all you guys out there, for me, and for the world. How about San Francisco, bro? Bro, some guys pulled up in San Francisco and robbed a dude with a gun, and nobody did anything. And then like an hour later, there was like a hot dog vendor there at the location selling hot dogs, and the cops took him out. So the cops were there to take out the fucking hot dog vendor selling hot dogs in San Francisco, but they couldn't arrest the fucking gun-toting fucks. That's the state of the country right now. How about the Sikh guy at the grocery store the other day? This fucking guy came in with a weapon, robbed these Sikh guys, and was trying to take their fucking shit out of the 7-Eleven. And then they said, fuck this, and beat the shit out of him with a cane and a broomstick or something. And they're going to jail. They're going to jail. So, dude, this country's fucked up its ass right now. Especially for some reason in the blue states. I don't know what people are doing and why it's okay. I don't know, bro. This country's weird. It's like we love pedophiles and murderers and crime. It's so weird. The politicians love crime, murderers. Like, they just fucking love it. America loves your family dead at this point. I don't know what's up with that, but that's what it is. And anybody who doesn't believe that is pretending it's not real or living in some kind of matrix. And anybody saying, oh, you're overblowing. Oh, yeah, okay, you're fucking a sheep piece of shit. Fuck yourself. Anyway, I'm Joe Cronin, and I'll see you tonight for Monday Night Raw.